Hello. So, I had to start over. That's just too bad. Anyway, what I wanted to share. I've got some helpful hints off of some YouTube um, channels in the past few weeks. One, be yourself, which I've been doing that anyway. Two, be consistent. I'm trying my best to do that. I wasn't here yesterday because it was a really stressful day. My job makes me brain tired. So when I come home, I just want to not think. I mean, I do a lot of thinking, but you understand, I don't like noise. And currently, right now, the neighbor's dog has been barking for a week, and I am so tired of it. I wish they would put him in the house. I mean, he wasn't barking prior to that, so I just don't understand. I don't understand. I wish he would be quiet. Found myself going outside and yelling, "Shut up," twice. It does shut him up for about 5 minutes. Anyway. So if the neighbors are watching, put your dog in the house, please. I'm so tired of hearing it bark. Don't make me move my whole house because of it. Anyway, my dogs don't hardly bark. I have a Basenji and she's such a good trainer. She's trained quite a few dogs to not bark, including my little Chihuahua. Anyway, I'm excited. I have something to share. There's a company out there called Path, and they decided to put their water in an aluminum bottle. And guess what? It's got Patrick on it. I seen this yesterday and I had to have it. It's aluminum and it's reusable. Now, and you can refill it. He's got a few dents in his head because he fell out of the car. He's got one right there, one right there. But you know what? If I think about it, so do I. I've had so many head injuries. They did an MRI on me because I was having a lot of headaches, which I believe was due to mold. Anyway, we'll get to that some other time. But this was a long time ago. Maybe, I don't know, close to 8, 9 years ago. Something like that. And so they did this MRI, and there was so much gray matter in there. At the bottom of the at the bottom of the doctor that looked at the X-rays or at the MRI said, lots of gray matter. Further testing for MS may be suggested, right? So they did that. They did all that testing and stuff. They did a spinal tap and stuff. I don't have MS. But I do have many, many head injuries. There's one. That happened when I was 5. And then when I was like, I don't know, maybe 6 years old, I was going to school in Nevada, Ohio, and they had those monkey bars, and I fell off those monkey bars. I was hanging upside down on them with a pair of leotards on in my dress, and I was worried about my dress going over my head, and so I went to go hold up my dress, and my foot slipped because of those leotards I had on. I just fell right down and landed smack on my top of my head, right here. And back in those days, well, they just put an ice pack on my head and sent me back to school. An hour later, sent me back to class, sent a note home with my mother telling her what happened. Us Gen X folks were just so feral, Back when I was in AA years ago, they used to say that we stopped growing emotionally, and some of us psychologically, the day we started drinking. Like if you were an alcoholic your whole life, da 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 da. Well, first time I ever got drunk, I was like 12 years old, so that's why the little can with SpongeBob amuses me. Okay. I'm still a little kid at heart. Although I'm not drinking, I don't drink heavily. I haven't drank heavily in many years. But, some of us never completely grew up. That little kid in us comes out in us every now and then. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. No reason to be ashamed of it. Anyway, I found this woman on YouTube. I've been so inspired the past couple of weeks. You know, DoDash said be consistent, be yourself, be authentic. I feel like I've been doing that. And today, there was a woman named Monica Watson that I seen. She came across my feed. And she was also inspiring. Part of the Gen X crew herself. Well, she's on that cusper. She's a cusper. From Gen X and Boomers, I'd say. Well, no, she'd be a Gen X. She said she was 59. Not 69, 59. And I'm 56, so, we're from that same generation, and we were so feral. We basically raised ourselves. Which, if you think about it, that explains why some of us weren't the best parents either. So, again, too much children, I'm sorry. I know you're tired of hearing it, but I did the best I could. I love you. I'm going to go see my granddaughter next weekend at her work and have dinner. Haven't seen her in a little while. She's quite the busy little senior. And I'm oh so proud. My one and only grandbaby. Anyway, I don't know. For the last 4 years, I've really, really, really been following a lot of different people on YouTube that have inspired me to do lots of things. I follow Chrome on Van City Van Life. I've been following him for 4 years. And I shared, I recently bought a van. And I'm working on it. I went to go get a hole drilled out today. And on the floorboard. And I got there too late. But on my way there, I got a phone call. Now, mind you, I have no friends. Nobody ever calls me, okay? Unless it's business oriented or whatever. And I finally got called from the company that I've been waiting on. And she said she was going to approve my test. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. And yes, it's on the other hand today because this one hurts today. The shot helped this one. Thank God. So I want to encourage everyone, even if you're just doing silly blogs like me, don't give up. Because we all have experience, strength, and hope that we can share. And everyone does that differently. But I have learned so much by following people on YouTube for various reasons. I mean, there's one woman on here who predicted my car accident. Yes, she did. And she even explained the scene. And it just made me believe that some people really do have gifts. And I'm appreciative that they shared them. The day that accident happened, I had heard this tarot reading she did. And I was thinking about making a day trip from where I was back to the town I left to file a police report on harassment. And because of that reading, I talked myself out of going that particular day. The next day, after much thought, I said, I gotta go. I just gotta go do this. I felt like I needed justice. It was just going to be a day trip. And so I paid someone at this hotel that I was staying at to dog sit my dogs. And I left them in the motel room. and went on this day trip. That was Spirit doing for me what I could not do for myself. Because I was determined to get justice, although it probably wouldn't have mattered. It didn't matter when I was there trying to report it physically at that moment. They never even showed up. They never even showed up to see if I was just some drunk woman off my rocker in the middle of the night. It's kind of like this barking dog. When you have PTSD, there's certain things that trigger you and make you irritated. And at that time, I was trying to report that. I reported it to the police, and they never even showed up to see if I was some drunk, crazy woman off my rocker or nothing. They did not bother to even show up. And there were several calls in that week that I had made to the police over my neighbors, and they did nothing. And I was going there to report this to the courts about the negligent police department. But I did not do that. I never made it. I never made it because I had a car accident. And ironically enough, I kissed the back wheels of a semi at 60 miles an hour on 115 in Colorado. And it's ironic that I work in a truck stop now. Because there was a time when I would have said, oh, hell no, I ain't working there. Not after what happened to me. I would have been bitter about it. But I've learned to have some compassion. And it took a lot of healing and years for me to have that. Not only for myself, but for others. And I just wanted to share that. Just share that little story. But Soul Source Tarot, she called out my car accident. And at that point, I realized that there's a lot of truth speakers out there if you just have an open mind. You know, there's people that are on YouTube. They do tarot readings. They do, you know, prophetic speaking, all kinds of things. But to me, and a lot of them will relate it to their own lives. And so, you know, to me, we're all a little prophetic. We've lived through a lot of things. We've survived a lot of things. And so if you get on here and share your experience, your strength, your hope, you might just help just one person. Maybe just one. I've been called crazy. You know, I've been told a lot of things, especially by my oldest child. And at the time that she says those things, it really hurts. But after long thoughts about it, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was unhealed. And just doing what I knew at the time. Working with what I had. What knowledge I had. And like I said before, if you set out to heal yourself over past trauma, not everybody's going to heal the same way. It doesn't mean it's wrong. But I am grateful for YouTube. I am grateful for YouTube. There have been people on here that I've been following solid for 4 years. I consider them my friends. And when I don't see them on here, I miss them. And I hope that I can build some kind of fellowship on here. And maybe there'll be one person out there just like myself that waits for that person to make a video and to share. So I'm not a stalker. I'm a fan. And just like fans of people who sing music, I have fans here on YouTube that I follow. And that I'm proud that I follow. Some of them have made me cry. They have made me laugh. They have made me smile. And I'm so grateful. I think the internet is a way for us to all connect, even though we're a long ways away from each other. And I'm sitting here all by myself tonight, but yet I don't feel all alone. So, I wanted to say one more shout out. There's also a lady that I follow. The name of her channel is Laid Out Bear. And she lives all the way across the water in England. I believe that's where she lives. I love her accent. She's so funny. And today, she said, her angel message for today was, don't stop believing in yourself. Just believe in yourself. And I needed to hear that today. Just like I needed to hear Miss Monica Watson talking about, she just hopes that she can help someone. You know. But you got to be consistent. That's the key. So, as my friend on Laid Out Bear says, her name is Carrie. Carrie calls cigarettes fags. And I think that's funny. Because I'd never heard it before. And the day she said it, I was just laughing. I love to hear her talk. So, I'll keep tuning in. I'm subscribed to a lot of people. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm grateful. And I hope that everybody has a good Friday night and a great weekend. Till then, peace out. Love ya.